the great tree. Deep in the forest, where the trees grew tall, lived the tiny Tinnies, oh so small. In a village hidden away, they played and laughed throughout the day. One day, they heard a rumbling sound. A bulldozer came and plowed the ground. The Tinnies were scared. What could they do? Their homes and forest were gone, it was true. But then a child, big and tall, came to the forest to play and explore all. The Tinnies saw this and had an idea. To talk to the child, to make their voice clear. They climbed up the child's pants so high, and whispered, "Please don't let our forest die." The child was surprised and listened with care, and promised to help the Tinnies repair. Together they worked day and night, planting new trees, what a sight. The Tinnies and the child became friends, and promised to protect the forest until the end. Now the Tinnies live happily in their home beneath the trees. Thanks to the child who heard their plea. The forest is safe, and they are free. The Lost Acorn. Once upon a time in a forest small, lived Tinnies, a tiny race, so spry and tall. They lived in harmony with trees and plants, and cared for nature, never taking it for granted. One day, while gathering acorns on the ground, they noticed one missing, nowhere to be found. The Tinnies searched high and low, but the lost acorn was nowhere to show. They asked the squirrels and the birds up high, but no one had seen the acorn. They all replied. The Tinnies grew worried, they needed that nut for their winter stock, it was a must. Just then, they heard a voice so loud. It came from a nearby human crowd. The Tinnies hid, for they were afraid of the big people's power and the mess they made. But one brave Tinnie, named Tim, decided to venture out and see what was grim. He climbed a tree and saw from afar a human child holding the lost acorn like a shining star. Tim approached the child with care and explained the Tinnies' need for the acorn rare. The child, named Lily, listened and smiled, and returned the acorn, making Tim feel so mild. From that day on, Tim and Lily became friends, and the Tinnies and humans found common ends. They worked together to preserve the forest so green, and a new era of peace and harmony was seen. The Rainbow Bridge. The Tinnies reached the edge, where the river met the ledge. They looked for a way to cross, to reach the acorns without loss. Suddenly, they saw a sight. A rainbow so vivid and bright. It arched high above the ground, and seemed like a bridge they had found. But how could they cross it, they thought. They were so small, they'd surely get caught in the breeze that blew on high. They'd surely fall and they'd surely die. But then they heard a voice. It made them feel so full of rejoice. It said, "Don't worry, little friends. Just follow me, and the rainbow never ends." The voice led them step by step across the bridge without any misstep. They reached the other side, where the acorns waited, oh so wide. They gathered them all up with glee. They danced and sang so happily. They knew they had accomplished their quest. Thanks to the rainbow, they had been blessed. The Friendly Giant. In the forest, there lived a giant, so friendly and oh so compliant, with hair as green as the leaves of the trees, and a smile that would put anyone at ease. He'd spend his days singing songs and dancing along to the tunes for so long. The animals loved to play with him, and so did the children, on a whim. But one day, some men with machines arrived to cut down the trees where the giant thrived. The animals and children cried in fear, not wanting their friend to disappear. But the giant, with his great strength, stood up and fought for his home at great length. He roared so loud, the machines all stopped. And the men, they listened until they dropped. They realized they'd been wrong to come and destroy, and promised to leave and never annoy. The giant hugged his friends with delight, and they all danced under the moonlight. From that day on, they all lived in peace. The giant's forest, a place of pure bliss. And if ever anyone tried to cause any harm, they'd hear the giant's roar, so strong and alarm. Wildflower Field. Once upon a time in a small village so bright, lived a little tinny named Sunny. What a sight! Sunny was curious, adventurous, and bold, always eager to explore as the story is told. One day, while walking in the forest so wide, Sunny stumbled upon a meadow with flowers on the side. The meadow was full of flowers of all colors and hue: pink, yellow, purple, and blue. Sunny was mesmerized by the sight, the wild flowers shining so bright. As the breeze blew, they danced and swayed. Their beauty left Sunny amazed. Sunny wanted to bring some back to the village so small, to share with the others, one and all. So, Sunny picked a bunch and headed back. But the journey was long and filled with a track. Sunny's little hands grew tired and sore. But Sunny didn't give up, that's for sure. Finally, when Sunny reached the village so bright, everyone was happy to see the wildflowers in sight. The wildflowers brought joy and cheer to the little village far and near. And Sunny felt proud to have discovered the beauty of wildflowers that was uncovered. The mysterious mushrooms. The tinnies find mushrooms so fair, mysterious and quite rare. To eat or not, they're not sure. Their safety they must assure. They ask the wise old owl, with feathers soft like a towel, "Are these mushrooms safe to eat, or should we keep them at our feet?" The owl hoots and hollers, and with wisdom he proffers, "Mushrooms with spots do not eat, for they could knock you off your feet." The tinnies heed his advice, and with a sigh of relief they rejoice, for they now know what to do to avoid getting sick or feeling blue. But curiosity never dies. The forest still has many surprises. More adventures await these tinnies in their journey through the trees. They leave the mushrooms behind, but there are many more things to find. The forest is full of mystery, and the tinnies will always be curious and free. The Sleepover. The tinnies host a sleepover, with human friends to come over. A night in the forest they'll share, but things don't go as planned, beware. The campfire roars and crackles, as they roast marshmallows and tackle a game of truth or dare. But then a sound fills the air. The wind picks up and howls, as the tinny's friend growls, at the sight of something strange, which gives the tinnies chills and change. The humans scream and shout, as they run away without a doubt, leaving the tinnies behind. To solve the mystery they'll find. They search for clues high and low, through bushes and branches that grow, until they come across a trail that leads them to a hidden vale. There they find a secret door that opens up to a great floor, and in the middle they see a giant bed for them to be. The tinnies hop in the sheets and drift off into deep sleep, but when they wake they find they're human friends of a different kind. They're all tinnies now, so small, and they explore the forest tall. Together they have fun, and their adventures have just begun. The tinnies' sleepover turned out right. With their human friends so bright, they all transformed and became friends forever, they'll stay the same. The Scavenger Hunt. The Tinnies set out on their quest to search for treasures. They'll do their best. They roam the woods with eyes wide open. Their scavenger hunt has just begun. They search high and low, left and right, for things that are rare and out of sight. They find a feather, a shiny stone, a pinnaconey, and a nit unknown. They follow tracks left by a deer, and find a rabbit hole so near. They catch a glimpse of a fox's tail, and hear the howl of a distant gale. As they journey through the forest green, the Tinnies find things never before seen. They discover mushrooms, bright and bold, and a secret stream, so calm and cold. They collect their treasures with hearts so light, and return home before it's night. Their scavenger hunt, a true success, a day to remember, nothing less. They share their stories with friends so dear, and with laughter and joy, they cheer. For they've explored their forest home, and found treasures they'll always own. The fishing trip. The Tinnies went fishing one sunny day, with poles and bait in their hands to play. The water was calm, the fish were near. They cast their lines with excitement and cheer. They waited and waited, but nothing bit. Their patience was tested, they wanted to quit. But then, a tug, a pull, a giant force. They reeled and reeled, with all their force. They saw a splash, a fin, a tail. Their eyes widened, they started to pale. It was a creature they'd never seen, a mix of fish and a mermaid's sheen. It spoke to them in a gentle voice. "Please let me go, I have no choice. I'm not a fish, I'm a mermaid's kin, and to her kingdom I must return within." The Tinnies were shocked, but kind and true. They released the creature without ado. It thanked them and swam away, back to the depths, without delay. The Tinnies learned a valuable lesson, to respect and care for every living person, and to always expect the unexpected, for in the forest, mysteries are connected. The Runaway Kite. In the forest, one bright sunny day, the Tinnies spotted a kite gone astray. It flew so high, it went out of sight. Now it was lost, with no one in sight. The Tinnies decided to lend a hand. To find the kite's owner, they had a plan. They searched high and low, left and right, and finally spotted a child in sight. The child was sad, with tears in their eyes. Without their kite, they couldn't fly high. The Tinnies showed them the lost kite, and the child's face lit up with delight. The child thanked the Tinnies with a smile, and said, "You've made my day worthwhile." Together they flew the kite in the sky. It soared so high, up where the birds fly. The Tinnies were happy to help a friend, and glad that the lost kite came to an end. They realized that it's the little things in life that make it magical and full of delight. So if you ever lose something dear, don't lose hope, don't shed a tear. For the Tinnies are always there to lend a hand, and bring happiness back to the land. The birthday party. In the forest, tall trees so grand, Tinnies gathered, a joyful band. A surprise party they planned with glee, to celebrate a friend's birthday spree. Whispers of secrets, excitement shared, a special day for someone who cared. Decorations hung on trees so high, balloons and banners filled the sky. Cakes and treats adorned the table, sweet delights, a sugary fable. Hidden behind bushes, they waited with pride, ready to shout, surprise, far and wide. Their friend arrived, eyes filled with surprise. Cheers and laughter filled the skies. Gifts exchanged, hugs all around. Love and joy in the forest abound. Dancing and singing, a jubilant sight. Under the sun, shining so bright. Laughter echoed through the trees, a celebration of love and ease. The day drew to a close, memories in tow. Hearts filled with gratitude, love did grow. forever friends, a bond so true. In their hearts, the party lives anew. The Big Race. In a forest green, where the tinnies play, they decided to have a race one sunny day. Excitement filled the air, the tension grew, as they gathered their friends, both old and new. The race was set, the rules were clear, but something special happened that they held dear. They learned that winning wasn't the only prize. The journey itself brought joy that would rise. With laughter and cheers, they started to run, each tinny giving it their all, having so much fun. Through meadows and trees, they raced with delight, their tiny feet moving swiftly, oh what a sight. But as they ran, they began to see, it wasn't about who was first, but the company. They supported each other with smiles and grace, encouraging their friends to keep up the pace. They realized that winning wasn't their sole aim. It was the joy of togetherness, playing the game. They celebrated each other's efforts and tries, and discovered the beauty in cheering for all the ties. The finish line came into sight, they reached it together, their hearts filled with happiness, forever and ever. They may not have won, but their spirits were high, for they learned the value of friendship, oh my. So let us remember this lesson so true. In every race we run, in all that we do, winning isn't everything, it's the journey we embrace, and the joy of togetherness that we forever chase. The Butterfly Migration. In the forest so green, a sight to behold, the tinnies witnessed a story unfold. Butterflies took flight, in colors so grand, a magical migration across the land. With delicate wings, they danced in the air, painting the sky with colors rare. The tinnies watched in awe and delight, mesmerized by the graceful flight. Butterflies, like petals in the breeze, traveling far, across mountains and seas. They shared a lesson, whispered so true, about the beauty and fragility they knew. For nature's wonders are precious and rare, a delicate balance that needs our care. The tinnies learned to cherish and protect the fragile ecosystem they had intersect. With gentle hearts, they nurtured the flowers, providing shelter during their journey's hours. They planted seeds, creating havens of peace, ensuring the butterflies' beauty wouldn't cease. The tinnies saw the world through new eyes, the value of nature, a priceless prize. They vowed to be guardians, strong and brave, protecting the wonders nature gave. So let's remember, in every little way, to honor nature's gifts every single day. For in the flutter of wings, we can see the magic and wonder of life's symphony.